What's up, guys? How we doing? I'm sorry I didn't record a video yesterday. I had a really rough day. And, I've recorded this video like 10 times, and I don't really even know if I want to talk about this publicly, but this is a venting channel nonetheless. So if the internet wants to take my words and twist them, they can do that. And instead of fucking making an hour-long video giving you all this context and whatnot, I'm just going to dive straight in. I have a neighbor who I got into it with whenever I moved in here because her dog wasn't leashed and her dog charged mine and legitimately tried picking a fight with my dog. And I got in between her dog and my dog, and her dog kept trying to go around me, and I kept getting in the way, right? And this owner did not do a fucking thing. Just sat there staring at it. Just didn't say come here, didn't say stop, didn't come leash it, didn't do anything. And the first time I met this woman, she literally had her dog running around off of a leash while she was standing on the third-story balcony watching it. And she stopped me and said, "Oh, I just wanted to let you know that my dog is down there. It's leashed, but I just wanted to let you know." And, well, it wasn't leashed. She's just too lazy to walk her fucking dog. And her dog is aggressive as fuck. Or was, because she got rid of it. And so when this incident happened where her dog tried to attack mine and it wouldn't fuck off, I yelled at it. And that scared it enough to back up, so I could then go up the steps with my dog, because my dog's bigger, and you know good and damn well how the world is. Dog attacks your dog bites back, does more damage. What's going to happen? Your dog's going to get put down, right? So anytime something like that happens, I get in the way. And she started screaming at me for yelling at her dog. And so I said, "I don't know why the fuck you would own a pet if you're not going to train it." And she followed me up the stairs and has just been a bitch ever since. "Why don't you just shut the fuck up?" said that like 15 times following me up the stairs. And then I turned back with, "Dude, I just don't want your dog to get hurt. That's a good way for your dog to get hurt. By a person, by another dog, by a car. You should leash your dog." And I'm not that person that sees a dog off leash and goes, "You need to leash your dog." But like, if your dog's charging mine, yeah, I'm gonna do what I have to do to make sure my dog doesn't get hurt like anybody would. Like, imagine my toddler was the one outside with me instead of my dog. And I shit you not, she replied to that with, "Give me a break. I worked 11 hours today." Oh, okay, so because you have to work like everybody else, that means you don't have to walk your dog or leash it or pick up after it or train it to not lunge at people? Okay, got it, you poor thing, you. I have literally avoided going to that side and started taking my dog to the other side to avoid her ever since. I take a longer walk for my dog to potty to avoid her, and have for a year and a half. But she got rid of her dog, so I guess now we're good. What a sweetheart. Really caring. Really cares about animals. I want you to remember this going forward. This woman has vandalized my car. She has door dinked it repeatedly because she doesn't know how to park. And she has door dinked damn near everybody's car here, causing hundreds of dollars in damage to God knows how many people's vehicle, because everybody here has complained about this one woman. She got rid of her dog because she couldn't take care of it. What a sweetheart. And she's a nurse. All nurses are good, caring people, right, Jules R.E.? This asshole called the cops on me yesterday for allegedly beating my dog and my daughter. Because I was clipping my dog's nails and she was whining about it. And I didn't make it to the back paws, but I needed to trim the front ones, and I did it in a very polite manner. I didn't yell at her or anything. It was like, she's very scared of getting her nails cut. And, so I gave her a peanut butter jar and just had to be like, good girl, and then go and cut the one and good girl, see, that wasn't that bad, that didn't hurt, good girl, get the next one. And she was just so scared, man. And not only is it agonizing, to know that your dog's that scared, but yeah, she was making loud whining noises. And so not only did this neighbor report me for beating my dog, but she, for no reason, for no basis at all, threw in, oh, and he's beating on his daughter too. And, well, if she is able to hear my dog whine, then that means she's able to hear my daughter laugh. That means she's able to hear us play and my daughter laugh. And my daughter very rarely cries. And she definitely doesn't scream. Like, when she does cry, she doesn't throw, like, temper tantrums and scream. So, zero basis for that claim. As a matter of fact, that would mean that she knows that she's in good hands, yet just decided to say that anyway. But I look stressed out, I act stressed out, my mind goes 100 miles an hour, and I talk about how racist Muffin Top should stop fucking being that way. So, I mean, gotta be beating on my kid behind the scenes, right? Because that's how you get custody of your daughter as a man, is by being an abusive prick. It's awfully ironic that every single motherfucker that has left a comment about me beating on my daughter, or they're gonna call CP, or just drags my daughter into something because I go on a social rant or whatever, are the same idiots that go and support channels like 8 Passengers or the Ace Family or Shitty Parents because they're that gullible. Because if you see them being good on camera, well, they must be good. But if you don't see it, well, then you can speculate. Have you ever thought that maybe good parents don't think to film them being a good parent because they don't have anything to prove to your dumbass? Hey, gullible is written on your ceiling. Fucking moron. The cops get here, and yeah, if you have been watching for a while, then because of my divorce, first thing that goes through my head is, what the fuck did my ex-wife do now? And we got a report that you were beating on your dog and your kid. Like, the dog one, I could understand, because you're a neighbor and you're hearing a dog whine. So, I guess I understand, but I wasn't yelling at Coraline or anything while doing it. Like, I was very patient. So, that, I could understand, at least. But the throwing in, I beat my daughter, was just to do it. So, the police, said, we need to check them out. Basically do a wellness check. And so, I just opened the door because Coraline was looking around one side and Persephone was looking around the other, and I just opened the door and was like, yeah. I was trimming my dog's nails, and I have never laid a hand on my child. And I shit you not, they just took one look at them and then said, yeah, the person didn't really seem concerned about their safety, to be honest. Have you had an incident with somebody here? Because this just kind of seemed like they wanted to report you. That is literally what they said. They didn't have to tell me that, but that's what they said. Which makes me come to the conclusion that they must have asked her, like, why do you think he's beating on them? And the dumb motherfucker couldn't come up with anything because there's nothing to come up with. Nothing like that goes on. She was just being an invasive cunt just for the sake of it. And, the cop and her did a high five and they were on their way. Yesterday, I was financially ahead and I bought Persephone a badass toy, and I wanted to make a video about that I was able to get Persephone a badass toy, and I groomed Coraline and got a whole new badass brush, collar, nail clippers, and spent the day basically grooming her and using this, setting up this new toy for Persephone. And at the end of the day, nope, I'm beating on my kid and my dog. I'm getting really tired of people taking one look at me and thinking, wow, he's stressed out. Wow, he's cussing. There's no way he doesn't beat on his kid. Let's use your logic against you, okay? When you comment in my comment section the most shitty things in the world, that you're going to call CP, that I'm sexually assaulting my daughter, all because I said you should shut the fuck up during, Black History Month. Let's use your logic against you. Since that's how you talk to others, you must be sexually assaulting your kid, right? Because by your logic, how you treat somebody you don't care about is how you treat the ones you love, surely. So that means every single one of you in my comment section saying that stupid shit must be doing that to your own kids, right? Or maybe, just maybe, how I talk to the computer screen, how I treat strangers, and how I treat the people I love are two completely different things. You see, whenever I had to deal with the person that my wife cheated on me with being in my apartment and I couldn't do anything about it legally, if that little girl didn't exist, well, that motherfucker wouldn't have any teeth left. But she does exist. So at the forefront of every decision I make, she is in mind. Somebody cuts me off in traffic, maybe I would have, flipped them off and started some shit back in the day. Now I don't. Every decision I make revolves around that little girl's safety and revolves around not giving anybody any ammo. Yet, because I am stressed out, because I work myself to death for this little girl, because I make videos saying, hey, Trump's a fucking idiot, and you racist Neanderthals that I see every day should shut up during Pride Month. Here's the body of evidence as to why you don't have a month. Oh, yep, you're sexually assaulting your daughter. You're beating on your daughter. Anything to not look at the subject, right? Isn't that fun? I am sick of the way the world looks at me and judges me. Just because I'm stressed out doesn't mean that's how I treat my daughter behind closed doors. As a matter of fact, if you'll notice, every time she's on screen, she's as happy as can be because her happiness I would die for. With how I was raised, with how my childhood was ripped from me, the only thing that matters to me is making sure that she gets to have one. That is it. That is the biggest thing in the world to me. For her to stay young for as long as she possibly can. And happy and innocent. Because there's going to be a day that comes along where she's going to realize that being an adult sucks. It's hard. Life is hard. The world is cruel. Good people die horribly. That life just sometimes is cruel, but with life there is beauty. And it's those beautiful moments you have to appreciate and not take for granted when you are in them. And if I could tell anything to my younger self, it would be enjoy the moment. Stop trying to grow up. Stop trying to worry about the future so much. Just enjoy where you're at right now. And nothing matters more to me than her childhood and her getting the best possible life. And I have busted my ass and all the things I have been through to make sure that that will happen. Just to have some neighbor almost fuck that all up because I was trimming my dog's nails is fucking insane. And she's a nurse. Did I mention that? Yeah, I did. I just feel the need to bring that up because the cop's exact words were, she did not actually seem genuinely concerned about anyone's safety. I don't know how they could tell that through a phone call. She must have just, like, not gave any details and just refused to answer their questions or something. But I think it's funny that a nurse whose literal job is to care about the well-being of others, the cops could just tell by her phone call that she didn't. I was gonna make a video all happy about. I mean, we played soccer yesterday. We had a really good day, and then that just, after everything, every night when I put Persephone to bed, it's a 30 to 45 minute ritual of putting all the stuffed animals in place, all in the same fucking place, and making her a strawberry shake, and then playing a little game with her, and then throwing balls back and forth at each other, and then same with the dog, and all this care that you don't see, that I don't talk about because I don't fucking care to film it, because I don't need applause from strangers. I don't need to film me being a good parent to prove to strangers that I'm a good parent. I just know that I am. I am tired of people taking one look at me and saying the most heinous things about my fucking kid. Oh, you made a video about White History Month and why we don't have one, pointing out that different ethnicities continue to get murdered to this day for just existing. Get bitched at, you know, fucking freak out every time they're on TV. Oh, you must be beating your kid. Well, good cop out. No, actually, I'm dealing with the stresses of life sober and still being a good parent. So what's your fucking excuse, inbred?